I didn't realize it at the time, but the moment I handed my neighbor my car keys was the moment I basically signed a contract I never agreed to. And trust me, what he did with my car, you won't guess it in a million years. So, this story starts on a warm Thursday afternoon, the kind that makes you feel like nothing bad could possibly happen. Birds were chirping, kids in the complex were throwing a ball around, and I was dragging in groceries like a guy who clearly overestimated his upper body strength. That's when Mark, my neighbor, walks up to me. Mark is that guy who always looks like he's just returned from a job interview he didn't prepare for. Nice enough, awkward smile, usually harmless. We talked maybe 5 times in 2 years. Nothing serious, small talk about weather and trash collection schedules, a very surface level neighbor. Anyway, he tells me his car won't start and he needs to pick up his sister from the airport. Sounds urgent. I'm drained from work, my arms are screaming from carrying milk like it's a kettlebell, so I just say, "Sure man, just bring it back tonight." He nods so fast you'd think I just told him he won the lottery. Took the keys, thanked me twice, and ran off like he was late to a heist. A few hours pass, then the whole night, then the next morning, no car, no Mark. Now, normally, I'm not paranoid, but waking up and realizing your car and a guy you barely know both vanished overnight, yeah, that hits you right in the stomach. I text him, no reply. Call, goes to voicemail, walk over to his apartment, the blinds are closed like he's hiding from a bounty hunter. I tell myself, relax. Maybe he overslept. Maybe he had an emergency. But something felt off. Way off. Around noon, he finally texts back, "Hey, sorry, crazy night. I'll bring it soon." That's it. No explanation. No apology beyond the word sorry. But fine. I let it go. An hour later, he pulls into the lot, looking way too happy for a guy who borrowed a stranger's car for almost 24 hours. He hands me the keys and waves like everything is normal. I notice nothing weird right away besides a faint smell, something like cheap cologne mixed with, I don't know, a concert crowd. Hard to explain. Whatever. I had errands to run, so I didn't think about it again. At least not until the next day when I got a notification that made my stomach drop so hard I thought the phone slipped out of my hand. It was from my car insurance app. New trip detected. The thing is, I wasn't driving. I was literally sitting in my apartment. So why was my car moving? I opened the GPS log. My car is cruising downtown, then the airport, then a random hotel, then another neighborhood I don't even recognize. My first thought is, someone stole my car. Second thought, no, wait, Mark? I step onto my balcony and look at the parking lot. Spot empty. My car is gone again. The anger that hit me, instantly, like flipping on a switch. I storm over to Mark's apartment and knock. No answer. I knock louder. Still nothing. I even tried calling him again. Straight to voicemail. Now I'm pacing like a maniac, wondering if I should call police or insurance because honestly, at that point, it felt like my car had basically joined the gig economy without my permission. Hours later, around 5 p.m., my phone buzzes again. Trip completed. Trip? What is this? Uber. That's when something in my brain clicks. I open the GPS history again and notice every destination looks weirdly like pickup, drop-off points, hotels, airports, apartments, all short trips. That's when the suspicion hit me. Oh God, is he renting my car? I know, crazy, but the pattern was too perfect. So I Google the destinations. A few of them match listings on Turo. Turo, the app where people rent out their personal cars. Now, I've used Turo before. I know how it looks. I know how people structure their pickup locations. Everything lined up way too well. I go back to Mark's profile picture in my head. The guy who always seemed like he needed money, who had that constant "I swear I'll pay you back" energy in his voice. And I realize he didn't need my car. He needed inventory. And I had just loaned him a free business opportunity. By the time he finally pulls in with my car, I'm waiting, arms crossed, heart pounding. Trying not to let my voice crack from how furious I was, he steps out like he's coming home from a spa weekend. "Hey man, thanks again. I owe you big time." I ask, trying to sound calm, "Did you take my car? Anywhere besides picking up your sister?" It was like watching a kid get caught stealing cookies. His entire face twitched. Well, maybe. I had to run a few errands, he mumbled. Errands? I repeat. At a hotel? The airport? A random apartment complex? He freezes, clearly didn't think I had GPS tracking. He stares at the ground like it might give him an excuse. And then he says the worst possible combo of words any normal human could hear. Okay, don't freak out. Listen, whenever someone says don't freak out, your body automatically prepares to freak out harder than you ever have in your life. And I did. He takes a breath and finally spills it. I listed your car on Turo just for a couple of days. I thought you wouldn't mind. It was just sitting there. My brain short-circuited. You did what? He flinched like I hit him with a sound wave. I mean, think about it. People make like $2,000 a month doing it. Your car is super clean and everyone loved driving it. You could actually make good money if you let me keep managing the profile. I cut him off. Mark, what the hell is wrong with you? You stole my car. You used it to make money with strangers without telling me. He tries to smooth it over with, hey, calm down. I was going to give you a cut, like this was Shark Tank, like he was pitching a business deal instead of confessing to basically Grand Theft Auto Side Hustle edition. My hands were shaking, not from fear, from pure disbelief at how casual he was. I tell him, give me my keys, right now, and don't ever ask for anything from me again. He hands them over, but not before saying, you're being dramatic, nobody got hurt. Oh man, if only the universe had let me stay that lucky. Because the next day, a Turo renter messaged me through the listing I didn't even know existed. Yep, Mark had used my actual full name on the account. The message said, hi, I left my sunglasses in your car during the rental yesterday. Can you meet tomorrow? I swear, my soul left my body. This wasn't just one trip. This was at least several. So I go to the Turo listing he created. He posted my car with photos taken in OUR parking lot with my license plate in full view and a description like reliable, smooth drive, great for weekend trips. There were reviews, actual reviews from real strangers. One said, great host, super friendly. Another, car smelled like cologne but otherwise perfect. Now I understood that smell. At that point, it wasn't just disrespect. It was identity risk, liability, insurance, nightmares, and the potential of someone crashing my car while Mark was collecting the money. I called Turo support, explained everything. They tell me since I didn't create the listing, they'll shut it down immediately. But they also warned me, just so you're aware, if someone had gotten into an accident, you could have been held responsible. My knees almost buckled. I sat in my kitchen staring at the wall, wondering how a simple favor turned into almost losing everything. So I march over to Mark's door. This time, he answers looking annoyed, like I'm the one bothering him. I tell him the listing is shut down. I tell him renters are contacting me. I tell him he put me at risk of losing my insurance and my savings. He shrugs, actually shrugs, like I'm the one being unreasonable for not wanting to unintentionally run a car rental business out of my apartment complex. Then he drops this gem. You never said I couldn't use it. I was speechless. That was the moment something in me snapped. Kindness had officially left the chat. I said, Mark, if you ever touch my car again, I will press charges. And I'm telling management what you did. Now that got his attention. He went from smug to terrified in 3 seconds. He begged, he apologized, he promised he'd never do anything like that again. I didn't believe a word of it. I spoke to the apartment office anyway. Turns out I wasn't the only person he'd pulled something shady on. Apparently, he'd been banned from the pool last summer for sneaking people in and charging strangers a small fee to use it. My guy was basically running a multi-department side hustle empire using things that didn't belong to him. Management said they'd handle it. 2 weeks later, Mark was gone, evicted, moved out in the middle of the night, and honestly, good riddance. But here's the real lesson I learned. Some people don't see kindness as kindness. They see it as opportunity, as access, as an invitation to push further and further until you finally hit your limit. Loaning someone your car should be an act of trust, not a gateway to discovering your vehicle has a busier social calendar than you do. These days, I lock my keys away, and if anyone asks to borrow my car, I smile and say, sorry, she's retired. Because believe me, Once your neighbor turns your car into a business, your definition of favor changes forever. And if you're watching this thinking, my neighbor would never do that, just remember, neither would I, until he did.